Hey friends. So today I wanted to talk about everything that I read in February. It was actually a good reading month, which I desperately needed. I only had 7 books that I finished in February, which was shocking to me because it was crazy. We bought a house, sold a house, moved. February's been just insanely busy. But I did manage to get 7 books read. 3 of the books were 5 stars. So I had an average of 4.5 star rating for the month of February. So made me happy to read. It was awesome. First up, an ebook. It was Dark Joy by Christine Feehan. It was her newest in her Dark series. So I gave this one 4 stars, but it might actually be more like 3.5 stars. It was not my favorite. We get introduced to our main female character. She's a jaguar shifter. She returns to like the place of her people in the rainforest, and she comes across a Carpathian hunter who happens to be her fated mate, and he is hunting vampires. We get a lot of information where we are taking this series into a new direction, which happened in Dark Taros a few books back. That I liked the direction, liked some characters that had gotten introduced. Thought, okay, I like this is refreshing. But then we get introduced to a certain aspect, and I'm not happy about it. I don't think that the series is going to keep going in a direction that I want to keep reading. So I don't know if I'm going to continue the series. I think I might just wait. There's one characters book that I really want to read. And so I think that I might just wait for that book and read it then. And then the next book, I actually listened to this on audio while I was like packing and getting stuff ready for the new house. The September House. So this is a horror novel, and it was so well written. It was a debut. I don't remember if it was 2023 or 2024 when it was released. I never thought I would like a horror novel so much, but I absolutely loved it. I have like check trigger warnings because there's abuse, there's mental illness, so much is going on. So we have this woman, she moves into a home that she and her husband love. It's their dream home. They're in their, I think, 50s, maybe 60s when they finally find this home and they move into it because their daughter, she's grown up, she's graduated college, she's working full time, and everything is going wrong with the house. They move in, the house is horribly haunted. But the way it's written, it's not just talking about a haunted house. It's also talking about this woman's relationship with her husband and the abuse that she has suffered over all of these years. And why she stayed in the house, why she stayed in the relationship. Her husband comes up missing. So this brings the daughter back home because she's looking for the dad that's missing. But at the same time, she's going through a lot of anger issues, and she because of the abuse that she watched her mom suffer. Plus, there are a few times where things happened with her and her dad. And so she's dealing with a lot too. And she's coming back, and things just get unraveled as the story goes on. I have never wanted to actually annotate a book before. I will be buying this book at some point, maybe next year. Can't spend any money this year because got a new house. But I want to reread it and just highlight and write things. I highly suggest this book. If you're okay with, the trigger warnings, check those. But it was just beautifully written and done so well. I couldn't believe that it was actually just a debut novel. So, September House. Great 5-star read. And my next audiobook was Psycho Shifters. So, it's by the same author of The Blood of Hercules. I enjoyed this. This was just like a fun audio. And I normally hate audiobooks, but having these two audiobooks back to back, the I do recommend The September House in audio book, and I recommend Psycho Shifters in audio format because it was so much fun listening. Uh, with September House, there was a lot of like emotion to it, and that narrator, did an amazing job. And with Psycho Shifters, you have like a full cast of narrators, and they do it so well. I was like, if this is how audiobooks are, then I will actually enjoy them. So I am checking out some more audiobooks coming up in March because I'm hoping that I will have fun with them and enjoy listening to them and not hate them because that's how it's been in the past. But Psycho Shifters. So we have a girl. She is in this like beast realm where the Fae are invading. The Fae and the Shifters are all at war with each other. And she gets basically a servant. She was just given to this man, her and her sister, when they were children. And he was horribly abusive to her. One day, she gets plucked from her like life and is told she's an alpha, and she gets sent to this new place where there's other alphas. She's the only female alpha to ever be in existence. All the alphas have been males up until this point, and she has to train and fight these fae creatures that are invading. And at some point, she does shift, but that's how the story like takes off. We have politics involved. There's lots of other things happening, but it was just a fun read. It's also a why choose fantasy romance, so it was just great. So 4.5 stars. Absolutely enjoyed. Then I had another 5-star read, Throne of Nightmares. It's Carrie Maniscalco's new book. It is in her Prince of Sin series. You can read each of them as standalone novels, especially this one. So I loved the first book in the series. Book 2 was just okay. This one, absolutely great. We have Prince Sloth, and he is on the hunt for this book of nightmare where a nightmare queen or goddess has been trapped. And as he's hunting and searching for it, he comes across this librarian. I loved her. She was so cute and adorable. And I've never related to another character so much in my life, but it was so much fun. Enjoyed reading it. She gets sucked in on this adventure and they end up falling for each other. And of course, there's like fated mates involved because that's how everything in the series is. So, great adventure, great storytelling, and enjoy the characters a lot more than I have in the other books in this series. So, highly recommend Throne of Nightmares, Carrie Maniscalco. Another new book that I read was A Dance with Death. This was a 4-star read. So we have a ballerina. She encounters this demon. She actually searches him out because her sister has died, and she's been told that demons can bring the dead back to life. So she tries to make a deal with him, and he refuses to make the deal. She finds some ballet slippers because she sneaks into his house, and when she breaks in, she finds them and they call to her and she takes them, which of course triggers him to come after her. But when he comes after her and finds her, her and the ballet slippers are connected and he can't get them away from her. So he just takes her back and he's like, "You're going to dance for me." And it's their romance as they banter and bicker and go back and forth between each other because she wants to make a deal, he doesn't want to make a deal. There's also lots of other things happening too that we find out that he is kind of indebted to this other demon. There's like a hierarchy system. It's a whole thing. But it was a fun read. It was a quick read. I think it's supposed to be book 1 in a trilogy, so I am interested to see how the other books go. I think each book is going to follow like one of the sisters and stuff. So it was a fun read. I liked it. So A Dance with Death. And everyone has been talking about The Wolf King. So I finally read it. I got it from the library. It was a 5-star read. It was so much fun. So it's a fantasy romance. We have a princess, and she is from a southern kingdom. It starts off like just action packed from the very beginning. She is sitting at this dinner with the king, who is her father, and her betrothed. The king is a horrible person. Her betrothed is a horrible person. And she does not want to be there. She does not like her dad. She does not like her fiance. She is watching these werewolves battle, and for just entertainment. That is what they do in this southern kingdom. They kidnap and the werewolves of the northern kingdom, and then they basically put them into these fighting rings. So she's horrified. She hates this. She ends up stopping a match between an alpha and another werewolf. So she takes pity and she asks for mercy for the werewolf that was going to be killed by the alpha. The, I guess, fiance says, okay, well, if he can survive the night, then, you can do whatever you want with him, because he doesn't see them as anything but just property. She goes to bed. She gets dismissed. She goes to bed. She wakes up to the alpha kidnapping her. So she gets kidnapped and she's taken to the Northern Kingdom. She finds out that things are not exactly what she thinks, and what, there's more going on, and that these werewolves are not the horrible creatures that they have been made out to be. It's her romance with the alpha. There's also another werewolf that gets introduced, and the ending, I saw the twist coming, but it didn't bother me. There are like a few twists there at the very end, but the ending does make you go, I have to read the next one right now. So I did put the Night Prince on hold at the library. We'll see whenever it comes in. But I enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. I struggle with werewolf books. Those are my favorite, like, paranormal creatures, and I don't feel like they're usually done very well. There are a few authors that I've read, and I enjoyed their versions, and so I really enjoyed this, and I have high hopes for it. This is book 1 in a trilogy, so hopefully I like book 2. In fact, I hear a lot of people liked book 2 more than book 1, and I really enjoyed book 1, so, bring it on. Let's read it. The last book that I read in February was actually, I listened to it in audio, and it was book 2. It's Psycho Fae. So, in that shifter universe with the Wai-Chus, I enjoyed it just as much as I did the first one. And we are in the Fae realm in this one, whereas the first one we're in the shifter realm. Book 2, Fae realm. Lots of things happening and going on. So I don't want to get into it in case someone wants to read it. So I enjoyed it, and I had a really good reading month. I'm excited for March. I have lots of books, lots of new releases that I want to read. So can't wait to get reading on those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.